Hi everyone, welcome to the Strip Down to Love podcast video where the essence of love comes from within. I am your host, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here with me and listening to me in this very moment. As always, I appreciate it so much. So, today's episode is all about boundaries. So, we talk about boundaries. So, look and think of this podcast as a direct conversation with your soul. Today, we talk about protecting your energy, but this discussion is about how boundaries direct your path, your soul path, and ultimately your human life and human goals. Before we start the opening meditation, I just want to let you know that G Money is sleeping down there. Beside me, so you may hear him snoring. All right, so let's take a deep breath in and out. Start the opening meditation. Ask all of your ancestral energy, your strength, your inner strength, your intuition to be present at this time, because you are working for you. As you will find out, boundaries help you to continue to work for yourself and to set goals. So this is what we are doing today in this episode. Again, think of this podcast as a conversation with your soul. Take another deep breath in and out. Ask the white light to come down and surround all the energy that you have asked to be present with you today. So now that you have done this, take another deep breath in and out. Say, I am here to just be and remember. Thank you, energies, for being present with me. I am safe, and now I am ready to continue. I urge you to remember you are an investment. By investing and sharing with you, I invest in myself. Together, we give back to humanity. You deserve to remember and really enjoy life. So, let's strip down to love. What are boundaries? Boundaries are the standards you place in order to preserve, keep, maintain your identity, your energy. Think about how hard you work to create this version of yourself and how hard you continuously work to upkeep and maintain this version of yourself and to move forward to the next one, right? Additionally, and why wouldn't you want to have boundaries up so that you could preserve this version of yourself and live in it and slowly morph into a new version of yourself without outside influence? Additionally, if you are in the process of creating a new version of yourself, there's a lot of letting go, acceptance, analysis, and interpretation that goes into creating this different version of yourself, right? So like I said, why wouldn't you want to have boundaries up so that you could preserve and look at yourself in a loving manner instead of a pressurized cooking pot manner? Because that's when you start to become angry at yourself, talk badly about yourself. And here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video, we are not in the self-punishment business. So continue to put these boundaries up and to lovingly look at yourself and not dislike yourself for having these boundaries. And we'll get more into that later and here soon, all right? Your lifestyle changes, your aspirations change. Always stay grateful for all of the items that were in your life. So like I said, there's a lot of letting go, and there's a lot of acceptance. There's a lot of that goes into creating a specific version of yourself, right? Those items came into your life at the right time, in divine timing, okay? So this enables you to still be yourself. So boundaries enable you to still be yourself, continue with self-growth, and still be able to tap into your base and fundamental principles without outside influence. You got this. You can do it. Speaking or sharing your boundaries allows you to give a voice to your base principles as well as future goals. You are doing yourself right at this point. You are being of service to yourself. Sharing your thoughts that essentially links to boundaries and shows other people how you love yourself provides people a glimpse into self-esteem and your self-confidence. So as I write and read this, I become a little bit emotional because sharing your boundaries and sharing my boundaries weren't always the easiest thing for me to do. And because people want to be liked, right? You want to be liked, right? But by sharing your boundaries, and by telling people your boundaries or putting a hard line without moving your boundaries, shows others your self-confidence, your self-care, and how much time and how much you worship yourself. So by doing this allows people to respect you. So there's a difference between like and respect. By being liked, you're piecing out your power. By being liked or by wanting people to like you and by desiring people to like you, you are giving away your power to the point where there may not be any of that version of yourself that you worked so hard for left, right? And what are you left with? You're left drained. By applying boundaries, there is respect that is created and culminated. And no one else created that respect except you, because you respect yourself. You respect the difficulties that you went through in order to create this version of yourself. All right? So, there was something else I wanted to add to this. No one allows or takes anything that can't be taken, right? So if you're going off of the premise of, I want people to like me, again, you're piecing out your power. You're giving away your power. People are taking your power and then therefore taking advantage of you. That's not respect. Therefore, that's showing the outside world that you don't respect yourself. All right? And this could just all be practice. You could be practicing with people and learning how not to give away your power. And like I always said, life is always about practice. So next time this comes up, you'll be able to start with a boundary. Okay? So not to worry and never think that you're a failure. All right? Allow this part of you to grow. This will allow you to get closer to your future desires and goals. Allow this part of boundaries and setting an example or using life as practice to grow. You don't always have to get it right the first time, all right? Boundaries create a place to be safe. Protect your energy until you figure out what you want to do. Boundaries aren't selfish. Protect your energy lovingly and just right. Holding on to it too tight disengages your ability to adapt to a situation, and therefore you aren't going with the flow. Adapting to a situation allows you to be malleable. You learn, then you can use this information for later. File it away and pull it out when you need it. All right? This helps you to let energy that is supposed to come and go to come and go. Think of this podcast, like I said several times before, as a direct conversation with your soul. All the energy that you called on before in the starting meditation is helping you in this very moment. Sometimes we need to allow a small bit of energy, a small bit of different energy to come in and go in order to get us to that next step, next phase in our life. It's okay to allow your energy to change in order to get to the next step. So here in the next coming months of podcasts, and maybe you've started hearing me talk about this, but the next phases, we're always morphing and changing because our desires and change. You will hear me talk about this continuously. So when that moment comes that you feel uncomfortable, that you feel like you're getting down on yourself, you did yourself a disservice, know that at that point you are collecting data, you are working on yourself, and don't ever think that a moment in time you're failing. All right? So when I talk about protecting your energy lovingly and just right, I literally mean that. Because when one applies this principle to your soul, all it wants is to be loved and cared for. You hold your goal at a specific standard. Now your love and soul and care for it. Now you love it and care for it with the ultimate love. No need to shy away from your soul inner connection because the love you seek is within you. This is based on your soul goals and self-reflection, not based on people-pleasing, self-punishment, or hiding from your truth and light. Morph energy based on the situation, and sometimes naturally it will. All right? Creating a mindset and ultimately allowing that energy to vibrate, creating a continuity of energy throughout your soul life and human life. There are levels to energy, spirit work, and self-love. Again, there are levels. Speaking your truth with compassion will awake certain parts of you that have been sleeping and or suppressed. Again, do it with compassion. If you're going to lead a conversation, even with yourself, in a defensive manner, pull back and think about how to best frame the conversation. So, let me give you a hint. Start with compassion. Compassion starts with yourself. Therefore, it will then be able to be translated out to your other conversations that you have in your life. Okay? And that is the standard as well. That is a standard, and that will allow people to know how to start a conversation with you, because you start a conversation with yourself and them, and they will learn how to talk to you in that manner as well. The change starts with you. Because there are different levels of energy and spirit work, choose the one you need at that moment for that situation, and knowing your boundaries, presenting them through a lens of compassion, allowing this will help you to come back to center. There is your daily energy, situational energy, and level up energy. We all know these different energies, right? And a lot of them are fun. So choose your center to come back to. Know your fundamental principles. So, and obviously this is created by boundaries. Know your home base energy by setting your boundaries, knowing your limitations, and keeping up your goals in your mind. So if you want to review the limitations episode, obviously it's there for you to look at anytime. And limitations allow you, accepting your limitations guides you to know exactly where you are at in that moment. And coupled with boundaries, it is a beautiful thing. Don't be afraid to share your boundaries or tell a person about it, because this is you. Your boundaries are your morals, standards, and something to be proud of, and be proud of them. Share your truth. Live in your truth. Shying away from your truth is misinformation, and you are cheating yourself, selling yourself short. Sharing boundaries allows others to know where you are coming from. If they are unable to respect your boundaries, it's about them, not you. You don't have to cater to a person at this point in time. It's about them. It also is showing you a reflection of a part of your life and energy that is permeable to others, where others can get in. Your choice if you want to tighten that area of your life up or not. All right? Also, view sharing your boundaries as you are providing a person an opportunity to grow or move on. So either they want to grow up, they want to grow out of neglecting, abusing someone's boundaries, or if they can't, then allow them to move on. All right? It's an exchange of pointing them in a different direction, and it's not your direction. It can be, but maybe not right now. All right? If someone can't respect your boundaries, they don't have to understand them. You are enabling them to go inward to discover why they are so slighted by your boundaries. Like if they can't handle it, if they get upset, like, well, you have this boundary. What am I supposed to do with it? I don't want to play with you anymore. Well, then they're not respecting you. They just like you for what you can do for them, right? And not in every situation. I don't want to start sounding negative, but there is some truth. We have to be truthful on here. All right? If someone doesn't respect your boundaries, then they aren't respecting you. Why would you want to be around someone that doesn't respect you? So, maybe I should just leave this part out. I see it as, people can take and take and take until you have nothing left. Like I've been talking about throughout this whole entire time about this episode. And then they'll leave you with a skeleton. Then you are the one that has to go out and regenerate and recoup and, bring things back to you. But with boundaries, you're not piecing yourself out. You're not allowing people to have this specific type of access to you and your energy. Because again, you worked hard to create this version of yourself. I'm just taking a very deep breath. So, when someone respects your boundaries, wow, this is like winning the lottery. Even if energetically or spiritually you're trying to give them your power, like, oh, thank you so much for respecting my boundaries. No, that's your power. You keep it for yourself. And if they take it, that is not a form of love, soul love. All right? When someone respects your boundaries, this is like winning the lottery. Be grateful to them. But again, don't give away your power. I feel like on a spirit level, it is very easy for us to be like, I'm so grateful for you. Here is some of my power. That is your power. You keep it. And if you connect on a soul level and they truly love you and adore you, they will not allow you to give your power away, because that is your power. Don't get caught up in the humanistic thought of giving and receiving, all right? Because your power is something that you keep. You don't give it away. Don't think for 1 minute that because someone did something for you, it is okay for you to give away your power. And that goes with boundaries. If that person doesn't take your power, they have their own boundaries that you need to respect as well. All right. So, I also think that the person that helps you come up with clever ways of exercising your boundaries deserves a medal. These are the people that I really love, and there's only a few. They have your best interests, and that's their way of keeping you safe. This type of relationship is very rare. When you find that, keep it. All right, let's take a deep breath in and out. I want to thank you so much for being here with me on the Strip Down to Love podcast video. So, this podcast was created pretty randomly, I want to say, and so I had an opportunity and time to create this podcast. G-Money's at my feet smelling it, so it's time for us to probably cut this short. He will start ripping things down. Anyway, I want to thank everyone again. I love everyone so much. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Thank you, energies, for coming here and being with us today. Let's return you to your respectful place. And again, we thank you for showing up for us. I thank you for showing up for you. Because here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video, we show up for ourselves. Take another deep breath in and out. I am giving you a huge hug. Always walk with love. Thank you.